Good morning, precious ones. Good morning, beloved brothers and sisters. Take a seat. Take a seat. Join me now. We're about to do a Sunday Satsang with Brother Sage. For the speaker has no idea what's going to be spoken yet. This is what makes Be Here Now Eternal Time so exciting, because words will drop in, feelings will arise, and energy will be increased. Take a breath. Do this. Whether it's backwards or forwards, you know what this means. Couple more. Settle in. Breathe here now. I brought some of my teachers from my journey. Some of the tools, some of the influences, some of the inspirations, some of the heart-to-heart communications from Divine Mother and from the Christ consciousness and God consciousness that arises and abides in me and arises and abides in you. There is a Christ consciousness. There is a God consciousness. If you don't like either word, use something different. But there is a consciousness that knows the consciousness and the hearts of all beings, not just human beings, off-planet beings, extraterrestrial beings, all beings means all beings. Take a breath. So, I'm going to share with you some of the influences that have been with me since the start of the journey, every step of the way of the journey. Thank God. And still with me on the journey. Did you guys get into this? A Course in Miracles. Course in Miracles basically teaches you the unlearning. What the Course in Miracles does is it helps you to unlearn everything that you thought was important, thought was real, based on programming, based on belief system, based on domestication, based on things you learn from your family, society, your religion, on it goes. A Course in Miracles, nothing in this that I see is real, and nothing is unreal. Everything I experience, I gave meaning to it. And so because of the meaning that I gave to everything, if something changes and I'm attached to the meaning, I get to suffer. I will hurt. So, if you look at the world through the Course in Miracles, you'll discover all kinds of things, including the truth about miracles. You know, there's no order of difficulty in miracles. No miracle is greater or lesser than any other miracle. So there's no difference between, healing a cut finger and manifesting $1 billion. It's all in our head. And so this is one of the books. I'm looking at all these books to see which one I've had the longest. Since 1979, Door of Everything by Ruby Nelson. The Door of Everything by Ruby Nelson talks about the attitudes of praise, love, and surrender. The gratitude attitudes, the attitudes of gratitude. What do they call them here? The ascension attitudes, the supporting attitudes, the mighty rock. This is just from table of contents. Starts off with the Father consciousness, the subcreation, grand cosmic being, the sacred seed, the Holy Spirit, the second birth. Then it goes into living upward, the ascension attitudes, the supporting attitudes, the mighty rock, the total stillness. I love that one, the total stillness. I don't even need to read anymore. It's about physical immortality. Now, there's physical immortality in all these books. I mean, I tell you. You guys get into the life and teachings of the Masters of the Far East? Did you get into this book by Baird Spalding, who took these guys to India and Pakistan and inside Mount Shasta to meet with Christ and meet with the Masters, at the end of the 1800s, early 1900s? And some of the books have pictures of him. Let's see, pictures of him. He passed away in 1953. I mean, I don't want to necessarily show you a picture of him when he was dead, but this was Bayard Spalding in the 1900s. And he was a pretty evolved being. And then the next set of books that came out after shortly was the I Am teachings, the I Am discourses. These are channeled through Godfrey Ray King and Lotus King, and they brought these teachings from Saint Germain and all these other masters, including Jesus, including Christ. These are available free PDF file if you either contact me or you search online. Someone was nice enough to put them all. There's 20-something books. The hand, heart, and hand decrees, which I still do every day, and sometimes Reverend Laughing Heart and I will do a decree group here at Sanctuary Garden. We have anywhere from one student to 4 students that come in and we do decrees. I'll do one for you right now. Beloved, I am presence bright. Round me seal your tube of light. From ascended master flame, call forth now in God's own name. Let it keep my temple free from all discord sent to me. I am calling forth violet fire to transmute all desire, keeping on in freedom's name till I am one with the violet flame. I recommend you get these books. It's the best $5 investment you can make. And if you say these every day, there's no time and there's no way that human discord and human misqualified energy or negative consciousness or lower vibrational consciousness can enter your thinking space, can steal your attention and your focus. Every time you feel that there is like a disturbance in the force, you're not quite getting it, or you're having stinking thinking, a pity party, not feeling good about yourself, start praying. Start doing decrees. Start just saying, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I surrender. I'm willing to know what I need to know in this situation so that next time I will, if I get into this uncomfortable place in my heart and my experience, I'll know how to get through this. You see, the journey is the journey through the mind and the heart in complete communication. And all these things that you're going through that are like hiccups, that trigger you, that you have charges on, that really disturb your peace of mind, those are your teachers. They came into your life so you will learn how to be patient, so you will learn how to trust, so you will learn how to surrender to the higher will, the higher mission or purpose for being here in the physical form, in the human body, in third dimension, on planet Earth. And you can take that anywhere you want with that one. And so these are some of the books and some of the tools. I've been, did this in the bathtub this morning, doing conscious connected breathing since 1980. I'm a direct student of Leonard Orr and Sandra Ray. Love you guys. And they also brought me into immortality and physical mortality. So, and then the last thing is last 2 things, which I've been at since, well, this I've been at since 1994. You know about Shivambu. Baby, if you ain't drinking the water of life, drinking of yourself, get doing it now. Because if you really want to know what aliveness is, what health is, what youth is, what vitality is, and what joy is, something's showing up on the screen. Go away, go away. Get into water drinking. And when you drink this water, notice how your mind reacts when you drink it. Are you ready to take in your lover? Are you ready to bring in the divinity, the golden nectar of immortality? Are you ready for that? Because that's what you're doing when you drink your water. You're not just taking in Shivambu. You're taking in every Shivambu that's ever existed and is in creation at this very moment. How's that for a mind fuck? How's that for a mind expansion, guys? You're drinking the water of life that has been accumulating momentum and life force for your regeneration. You're taking this water and you are turning it into light, life, and love every sip. You will eventually figure out that every drop of Shivambu is precious. I'm doing my Shivambu speech right now. It's Sunday. I get to preach Shivambu. Take a breath. And the last thing, I'm not going to get into Shivambu too much because I talk about Shivambu all week long. I did post the Shivambu World Urine Therapy Conference Call number 13, lucky 13. See who was there. See who were speakers, like Darlene and McLean was there, and Nicola was there, and Christopher McCord was there, and the Guptas, my mentors, were there, and all these board of directors from the Shivambu organization, the nonprofit here in Colorado. And the last thing, by the way, you want to know what my diet is? People have been asking me that. What do you eat? Well, I lost interest in food and the things that I eat and enjoy that sustain my life, that I feel has the highest vibration. Shivambu, this is a whole meal deal, liquid in a meal, and a medicine cabinet, and your pharmacy right there. And Raw Living Spirulina from Spirulina Farm in Florida. So they have it where the raw spirulina is in spirulina tanks, long tanks that are enclosed in a hoop-formed greenhouse. At one end, they've got one of those giant commercial fans. You know, it's like 6 foot by 6 foot with a huge fan blowing through the tanks and through the greenhouse. And they have a paddle going on one side so that it'll keep moving and circulating the spirulina as it goes around the pond. It goes from one side to the other, right? And so what's happening is the spirulina it's spiral shaped, right? It looks like a little helix, like a DNA strand, right? You guys seen it under a microscope? By the way, if you put E3 Live under a microscope, you won't see much in there. Everybody was really thrilled about Klamath blue-green algae for a while, and they're all doing E3 Live. You know, they had speakers like Gabriel Cousins and David Wolf and all these people talking about it. Well, it's got no life to it. Under a microscope, E3 Live and dried powdered spirulina and all those other dried powdered spirulina are flat. They look like patterns. They don't look like... And this, under a microscope, not only do you see the wiggly lines, you can see them moving under the microscope. That's how alive this is. Now, what they do to have kids is they're not sexual like humans. What happens is the spiral at one moment divides, and now there's 2 spirals. At 24 hours later, there's 4 spirals. And every 24 hours, spirulina regrows itself. Man, that's more impressive than a salamander. So, I don't know if they're shipping overseas, but if you'll go to my website, rawlivingspirulina.com/REF/146, you'll see everything there. Now, I'll post the link. You guys need to get off any kind of concern about costs of health, particularly when it comes to this stuff, the raw spirulina. I just used up this whole jar. I'm on my second jar. I went through a jar. This is 16 ounces. I went through a jar 4 to 5 rounded tablespoons a day. I went through a jar in 4 days. So at that rate, I'll go through 7 jars a month, which is totally fine because I get the price. You get the price down if you go to my website, rawspirulina.com/REF/146. There, when you go to purchase, look for the options where it says $80 to $850. Look at the option, and it drops down, and the more jars you buy, the less you pay for it. So this retails at $80. I used the drop-down menu. I bought 5 of them for $300. So I got it down to $60 a pound, right? Now, you break that down, you're looking at $2.75 a meal. Okay? So let's make it $2.50 if you had 4 a day. That's $10 worth of meals. Where can you get $10 worth of meals in your town, in your country, that will sustain life? 70% protein. 70% protein. Forget about meat and fish and dairy and soybeans and your other sources of protein, even the vegetables. This beats wheatgrass in chlorophyll. All right? Highest form of phycocyanin in the algae world. So, Go to my website, pick it up. So this is my new diet right now. Shivambu, Raw Living Spirulina, and fruit. Everything else is just for the fun of it. We had a potluck last night, and I knew almost everybody. There was a couple of new families and their kids that showed up. But instead of being a purist, I made an incredible fruit salad with fresh cut peaches, fresh cut mangoes, some organic, some were not, fresh cut papaya, fresh cut strawberries, raspberries, blueberries, blackberries, and slices of organic bananas with sprinkling of cinnamon on it. That was gone in the first 2 hours. And they just like poured through that fruit salad. Well, what I did, because I wanted to try everybody's stuff, is I nibbled. I would just get a little spoonful and go, God, that Indian cuisine was just, that rice, that was yummy. And I tried a little of this and that and stuff, some potato salad, whatever it was. And then I dismissed food altogether and just kept going back and forth, playing host for the people. You saw the drum circles video. So I get to go from the house to the people in the house, the people in the kitchen, the people in the living room, the people on the outside patio, and the people at the out back fire, going back and forth and having communications and conversations. And I'm like the go-to guy. And then I would come to the next group and go to the next group. And then it got slower and slower that people were leaving as the night went on. We did some healing on Michelle, who came into my room where I had the massage table set up, and she had a headache. So first thing we put is some peppermint on her temples. I started working her points in her hands. Indira's working her points in her arms. We had her do some breathing, get centered, get quiet, get somatic, move into the body, rub your feet on the floor. And about 10 minutes later, she opened her eyes and says, I don't feel the headache anymore. That was amazing. So we zapped her with love and zapped her with energy. Now, Michelle's dealing with, I'm not saying last names, but she's dealing with an alcoholic husband of 20 years and having a tough time with a marriage. And one kid's left the house. He's 22. He's got his own house. See, I get involved with all my friends and their clients. So she's going to start coming over to Sanctuary Garden more and more and more. Elizabeth brought her boyfriend. I'm not going to say his name because that'll be a clue. And her daughter, and someone else brought their son, and someone else brought their daughter and their son, and someone else brought their daughter, who I watched her grow up. She's now 38. Just all these people were there last night. Just what a joyful community. And I got to drum by the fire with my djembe. It was a lot of fun. So blessings, my friends. What tools, what motivation, what inspiration do you turn to? For inspiration, for motivation, for creativity, for juiciness, for aliveness, to feel the passion, the fire in your gut, in your groin, in your heart, in your throat, in your brain. Come back online. Find that today. Find peace today. See how much of the now time you can handle. Because now time is the only reality time that I'm aware of. If there's another time or a construct of a time, I'm not interested yet. But nobody showed me anything better, so I'm living in the now time. And in eternal now time, you're physically immortal. Because there's no ticking away of the so-called cycle of death. It's gone. And that's one of the programs that's also been vacated from our planet. That program has been deleted from human consciousness. Nicola, I want you to get this part. The idea that death is real, the idea that death has any hold on us anymore, and all loyalty to death and all unconscious death wishes, death desires that humanity has, thinking that they can not only go to a higher place, but it will free them up from their pain and their suffering. Take a breath. However, in the eternal now time, there is no cycle of death. There is no programming of death. And what the masters have done, and I've been working with them, is to delete the deathist mentality and programming from all beings. Has been done. Take a breath. We are being flushed of any residue of thinking that death gets you out of this world, gets you out of your pain, gets you away from your hurt, and your resistance to your full light and your full power. Take a breath. So aliveness has been reactivated in all of us. the joy of living, the joy of serving, the joy of being, the joy of discovery, the joy of curiosity. It has been reactivated in each and every one of you. Take a breath. Get used to receiving infinite joy today. Get in the habit of feeling inescapable bliss, that you keep seeking somewhere to get that, from a person, from a drug, from a TV show, from watching the drama play out in the world about the dark and the light, battle of the good and the bad. That's a little waste of time, because you're in the middle of now time, and there's no duality either, or any polarity. There's no us and there's no them. There's no division. There's no opposites. I mean, you're infinite. See, and what's built into us is infinite intelligence, which also includes a knowingness of anything you need a knowingness to. Take a breath. You also included with infinite being, which means you're eternal and you're immortal. And you also was included in your everything package. It's a free package about infinity, is infinite manifestation. Which means, the things you manifested yesterday, today, you can manifest them again. You can manifest something brand new, or you can manifest something that's never been manifested before. That's how much your infinite intelligence has to offer you right now. Take a breath. I'm just thirsting for fountains of abundance, and I have abundance. This is abundance. With this water, with this water, you can travel around the world with nothing but the clothes on your back and a bladder, and be a urinarian, an urinarian. With this, it gives you peace of mind that when you go anywhere, and if you A, run out of money, B, run out of food, you'll never go hungry, you'll never go thirsty. You can actually thrive and survive on this. Okay? So everything else is just for fun. You can manifest food, you can manifest clothes, you can manifest houses, you can manifest lovers, you can manifest places to stay, you can manifest cars, you can manifest airplanes, you can manifest whatever you want. Yesterday I had a conversation with a friend of mine out in England, who is also a client/student of mine, and he's connected to a gentleman who has a fleet of private jets. You know what I asked him? Take me on my world tour, let's go. Because there's 13 countries that practice urine therapy big time, and I want to be in every one of them. I don't know, Serbia's on the list. I mean, you're like the main UT master out there in Serbia. Last night I was added to Japanese urine therapy Facebook group. And if you want to know how to find it, just, contact me. But two of the guys, I have to learn their name. Yuri, Yahuri. She was on the conference call last night. There's a man and a woman who, a brother and sister, water family. He lives in Japan. She lives in Canada, I believe. And they're translating my books into Japanese. And I said, well, get me on the Japanese Facebook group. Get me in front of the Japanese community. Take me to Japan. Let me speak. This is how much spirit is moving my Shivambu butt around the planet, because right now it's all being done with Zoom. And so we could do this right now, and we could do this in any country, is to put me in front of anybody from any country that's got a group that gathers together on a Zoom call with a translator, and I can take questions and answers from the people out there. They want to know about urine therapy, how to use it, what are the benefits, what are the protocols, how do you introduce it to newbies, all this stuff, and have it translated and recorded and documented and made available to the world. So that there's a lot of ways to shift the paradigm with Shivambu with a little bit of imagination. However, as I reminded everybody, you have infinite imagination, and you can go as small, as big, or as huge as you want to play. I mean, I play on the world stage every day, and I got comfortable with it, so it's no big deal anymore. And so I love my life. I love this life. Where's the bell? So it's a Sunday. We had a group gathered yesterday for the Gemini party. The 3 Geminis were me, Indira, and Reverend Laughing Heart. And they were born on the 28th. I was born on the 25th. And I think we might have had Cancer or Taurus that showed up. Susan's a Taurus. And it was a whole lot of fun. And the kids were there. And Layla showed up with her dog. Yay! Sierra, who's like all of about 6 months old right now. An Aussie, a little Aussie dog. Great time last night. Outdoor fire, outdoor drumming. I got to dance with Sarah. It was great. Talked to all kinds of friends. So that was last night. We're going to do it again real soon. We're going to start working on the Sweat Lodge again and have people come by. And there was a bunch of people getting serious about ping pong in the garage. There's a ping pong table in the garage. There's a dart board in the garage. There's also badminton, croquet. We could put together volleyball, you name it. I'm surprised we didn't do any karaoke last night. That would have been a lot of fun. All right, blessings, everybody. Anybody who saw or heard anything that was spoken on this line, I will leave a link for a description for the Raw Living Spirulina. Contact the company. Use the drop-down menu. Get the best price ever. Blessings, my friends. Have a joyous journey today, and may you be ridiculously blessed with happiness, with prosperity, and connection. Be well.